All right, so you ready for this?
Ready when you are?
Let's do it. We're going deep on a new Western,
Okay.
The Night They Came Home, dropped this year.
Yeah.
And I've heard
Love
this film.
things.
I've got this review here.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's more than just your typical shoot 'em up.
Hmm.
Like this one really digs into, I don't know, vengeance and
Yeah.
justice and what it really
It's
meant
so
to, I guess, survive back then
Mm.
when things were a little wilder.
Absolutely, yeah. When the law was more like a suggestion
Right,
than
exactly.
an actual rule. And that's a perfect setting for a story like this. We've got a U.S. Marshal,
Yeah.
and
And Brian Austin Green
it is, yeah.
playing the marshal,
So
right?
he's teaming up with some Native American allies
Oh, wow.
to track down this
Oh, okay.
notorious gang, the Rufus Buck Gang,
Okay. Yeah,
led by, well, the always intense Charlie Townsend.
there's Rufus Buck.
As Rufus Buck, yeah.
Okay. I mean, late 1800s, you couldn't ask for a better.
Oh, it's the perfect backdrop, right?
Yeah, yeah. Why is that setting so perfect for a story like this?
You've got these vast territories, right? And there's very little in the way of actual federal oversight.
Right.
And then you've got this really complex, often very strained relationship
Mhm.
between, well, everyone, the settlers, the lawmen, and of course the indigenous population.
Right.
So the film could really, I think, dig into like all those messy questions about like, what does justice even mean?
Right. Especially when, like you said, who knows when you're going to see a judge
Exactly.
or any kind of law enforcement.
It could be days, weeks.
Oh, yeah,
It's a whole different world.
absolutely. And, speaking of familiar faces, there's a couple of names that popped out
Oh, yeah.
in this review. We got Danny Trejo
Oh, wow.
playing a character called Digger, and Robert Carradine
Oh, nice.
is playing Bart.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Talk about a Western pedigree right there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Are they going to be able to bring something new to these roles,
Yep.
or is it just going to feel like stunt casting?
I think that's the big question, right? I mean, both of those guys, they've
Played.
played these rough around the edges characters
Yeah.
so many times, but that's also kind of their strength, right?
Right.
Like they can bring that authenticity to a role.
That gravitas.
Exactly, yeah, that gravitas. So I'm hopeful. I want to see them use that experience to actually like deepen these supporting characters.
Right.
Give us something more than just a familiar face.
More than just a cameo.
Yeah, exactly. Have them wrestle with those moral choices that everyone had to make back then.
Oh, that'd be good. Now, there's one thing in the review I want to ask you about. The reviewer mentioned how the cinematography and even the score like work together to create
Yep.
this,
Mm.
I don't know, this world that's beautiful but also super harsh. Like, what kind of classic westerns do you think they might be trying to?
Ooh, that's a good question. The way you're describing it, I'm kind of getting a Sergio Leone vibe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like think about those extreme close-ups in his films.
Oh, yeah.
You've got this wide open landscape,
Mm-hmm.
but then suddenly you're right there in the character's face and you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
almost claustrophobic.
Mm.
So if The Night They Came Home can do that, capture that same tension,
Yeah.
that could be really special.
I mean, it's funny you bring up that contrast because the review uses this phrase, gritty realism versus cinematic flair.
Right?
Like, how do you balance those things?
It's a tough one. You want to be authentic, right? You want to show that
Yeah.
the violence, the poverty, the reality of life on the frontier, that's the grit. But it's so easy to kind of slip into romanticizing it all.
Oh, yeah.
Like we don't want to gloss over how hard it really was. So the challenge for this film is to be honest about that harsh reality,
Right.
but also tell a compelling story
Yeah.
and make it look amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and there's one more thing that I am super excited about. The review mentions this alliance between the Marshal and the Native Americans.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, right. It's not something you see every day in a Western.
Definitely not front and center, no.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that detail alone has me really intrigued because, let's be honest, Westerns often don't know what to do with Native American characters. It's
Yeah.
like they're either these romanticized figures or they're obstacles that need to be overcome.
Right. Yeah.
So to see a film where they're actually partners
Working together.
working together, yeah, towards a common goal, that could be really powerful.
It feels like it could really challenge how we usually see these stories.
Absolutely. It could offer a whole new perspective on that time,
Right.
and it could explore what those communities actually went through together,
Yeah.
when they were both facing lawlessness.
So to recap, we've got this gripping plot
Yeah.
set in a really intense period of history and a cast that's got a lot of potential.
Mhm.
not to mention some seriously promising visuals.
So hopefully, The Night They Came Home will use all of that to make us rethink what we think we know about the West.
Yeah.
Like, how does this film challenge our understanding of justice,
Right.
alliances, even like what it means to be human in a time when everything was changing?
That's a great question. And I guess we'll have to watch and find out.
Exactly.
If you're looking for a Western that's doing something different, this is one to watch.
For sure.
The Night They Came Home.
Check it out.
And we'll be back soon with another deep dive.
Looking forward to it.